I was not happy with some of Chuck Todd's earlier interviews today, but I tell you what, this one with Dan Crenshaw, I think he deserves some kudos for it. He hit him up fairly hard, not as hard as he could, but he hit him up fairly hard. Take a listen to this, and then let's take it on the other side.
And I'm going to begin with Congressman Crenshaw. Let me just start with whether you agree with the following analysis, which is Liz Cheney was kicked out of leadership simply because she wouldn't carry the water of former President Trump's election lies. Do you agree with that statement?
No, fundamentally, I don't. You can't forget that we already had this vote for Liz Cheney. We had this vote, and that vote was directly because of her vote for impeachment. And she won overwhelmingly. The Republican conference said, look, we disagree, and Liz did not apologize. And she said she would not apologize. And she still won that vote overwhelmingly to be a leader in our conference. What happened after that, and I think the reason that a lot of our colleagues got more frustrated with her is because effectively, she kept demanding that everybody else start apologizing. And I think what Kevin McCarthy was trying to say there was, look, there is disagreement and it's time to move on.
But why should anybody believe a word you say if the Republican Party itself doesn't have credibility? I want you to take a look at what Liz Cheney said to CNN on Friday.
For Republicans to be in a position where we can stop those policies, we've got to be able to tell people you can trust us to be based around conservative principles, and to reject the lie and to protect the Constitution.
Look, for her and for many Americans, sitting here and saying, oh, there's disagreement about the election. Look, there's not disagreement about the facts. This is, do any of your critiques come across as credible if you can't accept the fundamental fact that our democracy held a free and fair election?
No, but I can speak for myself, of course, and you know where I've been on this issue, I assume, right?
Well, I do. In fact, in December,
I
know
can
how you
stand by
voted.
everything I've ever said.
I understand that, but in December, you signed on to that lawsuit that the Texas Attorney General filed to question the elections of other states, which seemed to be a pretty anti-federalist thing to do. Why did you sign on to that?
Painted that as, and you guys in the press, because you guys in the press painted that as some extreme action, and of course it wasn't. That amicus brief was a simple question to the Supreme Court and saying, can you please speak to this question of whether process changes in the election last minute, not approved by the legislature, can be deemed constitutional? It was a question. Now, they didn't want to answer that question, and I said it's unconstitutional for us to overturn the election in Congress. So I did not vote.
You don't feel like you fed, but
I voted to certify.
But this is the issue that many people have, is that you're sitting here trying to say, no, I just had a specific question, yet what you did gets weaponized by the former president. Did you see the rantings of him yesterday? And to the point where a Republican official in Maricopa County called the former president unhinged. I understand you guys want to put this behind you, but Chuck, he is the leader of your party, and he doesn't stop talking about this nonsense.
Chuck, he's one of many leaders in the party. He's a former president. We're 5 months into President Biden's presidency. And there is a time to move on. And look, you guys in the press love doing this, and I get it, right? the press is largely liberal, they're largely pro-Democrat.
No, don't start that. That is the late look. There's nothing lazier. There's nothing lazier than that.
There's a lot of reasoning to keep this alive.
I understand what you're trying to appease.
There's a lot of people in my party that take the bait. I'm not going to take the bait here.
I'm not trying to bait you. I'm trying to figure out
looking for.
Why do we sit here and have a political party that is basically rallying around this bizarre lie and mythology that the former president is doing, and you guys just want to say, hey, pay no attention to this, that somehow we in the press are bringing that up. It's the former president.
What I'm trying to help you understand is that these are not the phone calls I get about this, about who's the leader of the party, what's happening with Trump.
So, you must be upset with the former president that he can't let the party go. I mean, I don't understand. You keep putting this in the press. Isn't it not the former president?
If former President Trump asked me, I would say, Mr. President, please keep talking about the border. Please keep talking about these issues.
And you believe he's a legitimate leader of the Republican Party?
Well, hold on. I believe that you're not going to excommunicate a former president, right?
I believe that you're not going to excommunicate a former president. You're absolutely right. If the former president was somebody doing positive for your party, but he is not. What Chuck Todd did there, however, I mean, in several parts of the interviews, the parts that I cut out, there were sections that Dan Crenshaw tried to get the Republican talking points to neutralize this riot that's occurring inside of the Republican Party. So those were platitudes that I wasn't going to allow into the narrative that I'm trying to get across here. That is, Chuck Todd continued to press him on the issues of the president, on the big lie, and on what's occurring in the Republican Party and what it means to the rest of the country. And I think he did a fairly good job by not allowing the congressman to just throw it under the rug. January 6th was real. January 6th was an insurrection. January 6th, the factions of the Republican Party attempted to overthrow the United States government. They did not succeed. They're trying to sweep it under the rug. Liz Cheney, in as much as most of progressives understand who she really is, she at least was not going to stand for that. Most of the Republican politicians in Washington right now, they made the choice to stand for that, and that is what they're being called out right now. And this one, Chuck Todd did a fairly good job. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.